Hi, my name is Natalia Perez Cruz and this is homework 10, surveillance. For this homework we need to do a research of many material to talk about the topic. So first of all, I was reading the mass surveillance of Amnesty International. This paper talk about the different uses that have the information or information. In general, talks about that the state security agencies secretly collect, store, and analyze, provide information despite being illegal. Maybe for us is something normal to listen, because in general we know that your information is used for many people, in general for companies like Google or something like that. But this is a very important problem, because first of all, the government has a difficult dilemma. For one hand, we have the dilemma of security, because this type of methods try to avoid the crimes or things like that, to try to make us feel secure in our country or in our city or in our neighborhood. But at the same time, what are our freedom? In general, we are not free people. We need to be into the standards of our country or city, and in general in all the social media that we use. Because if we have some conduct that is not normal or that have a different with what the people expect of us, we can become amenaza for all the people. So this is very worrying, at least for me, because in general we should have control of information to decide who to grant it. The government justification is that this program is an easy way to identify criminals, but surveillance is only illegal when it's elected and authorized by a judge. But in general, all the information that the social media use about us is not like a judge come to the house and say, oh, can we use our information? This don't work in this way. In general, for me at least, I believe that this type of information does have the enough rules to try to learn how to use our information. Something about this topic is talked in the next file, that is about expansion, and talk about new rules that the government try to use to care our information, and in general the role that have the TV or the radio in our lives. First of all, talk about that there can be only preponderant company per sector, not monopolies. Maybe in these days it's not so usual when we talk about monopolies or about TV, because well, we don't use TV so much. In reality, we prefer to watch things in Facebook or something like that. But our parents grew with the idea that the only important TV companies was Televisa and TV Azteca. And this was so dangerous for all the people, because the TV in other times was a really important found or information, and at the same time try to convince to the people to have their ideas. So at least for me, this is so dangerous, because many people grow with the ideas that the TV gives to her, not their ideas in general. Also talk about the telephone companies wanting the portability of telephone numbers. This is something that maybe for us is so obvious, but in other Gs, this situation is not. This is not in this way. In general, talk about some aspects of that the content that we see in TV or hear on radio, that respects the human rights and be more inclusive, have more inclusive content, and include more people of different ways to live and to be. In general, the communication along with all data. For me, this topic is also interesting, because give me the idea that in general we try to don't let the social media control our ideas, but this in one or other way works in this way. Then I watched the interview, the documentary about terms are condition. And one important thing about both of this is that social networks manipulate and influence us. In general, in the beginning of the documentary, talk about that sometimes that typography makes it something you don't read, don't refer to at all. It apply of truth we don't know it and to get the information and cancel if even if you stop using the app. This thing for me is a little bit surprising because in general when we need to use an app or a new dispositive or something like that, usually we have like a necessity to use. So when we see the part of terms and conditions, we only put yes, I accept everything, please let me use your app. And maybe for us it's so common, it's a thing that all the days we can see. But in reality, we don't have any idea what the companies do with the information. Actually, the information is one of the goods more expensive. And in general, it's other people sell our information. We don't know who people, who enterprises, who what have our information and what they do with them. So maybe we need new rules about this topic. We need to improve our systems and do something to reform the idea that we have our own information and decide what we do with this. Because in general, I know that we believe in the world that the information moves so fast, but in general, we still have the right to know what happened with our information and what happened with the social media, because not only we need to convince that the announcement that we see, we need to create or think to wait to really know what we want about the technology and what will be the relationship that we will have with them. Thank you.